guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So I've been seeing this trend go around on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube, and I've been dying to do it myself. So basically, a lot of people have been reading one-star reviews of their favorite books. Obviously, a lot of people have different opinions on many books. It's just a matter of opinion for every reader. I'm very interested to see what people think of some of my high-rated books. I have them here on my iPad and I'm gonna read them out to you. So the first book I'm gonna be reading the reviews for is Things We Never Got Over, and that's from the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. This is a very popular series, and this book is a very popular book, and a lot of people love this book. I am one of them. I really liked it. It's honestly the first review I saw, and I couldn't agree more. The first one says, "You are in your 40s and you decide to pee in your backyard." Now, for anyone who hasn't read this book yet, it's probably going to be confusing for you, but I honestly couldn't agree more with this comment, because honestly, like, when I read it, I was shocked. Like, I thought it was so jarring, and I was like, okay, you are a civilized man, mind you, a very rich man. You have a big house. Don't even try to sell me that, like, oh, like he's like the lumberjack-esque man. No, you are a man living in modern society. It's not like you've been living away from civilization for years and you've been living in the outdoors. No, just because you like camping doesn't mean you have to get out of your house and pee outside. I was so shocked when I read that part in the book, and I honestly completely forgot about it until I was going through the reviews and I saw this one, and it just like unlocked a memory that I think my brain just tried so hard to block out. And the next one is, "I wish I had the power to go back in time to steal the manuscript for this book and burn it." It's not that bad. I mean, like I said, everyone has a different opinion, but it's really not that bad. Like, I've read so much worse. I've read books where I'm like, yeah, I wish the manuscript never made it through. But not this one. It's not that bad. This one says, "The amount of millennial humor toward coffee should be a crime." Honestly, that I agree. Like, even though I love these books, there are some things in it, like, I will agree with these reviews. I get the whole coffee humor thing in books because it's something a lot of readers relate to. I get it. I'm a coffee lover myself, but here's the thing. I don't need it to be so highly emphasized in books. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't come off right. And I get it if, like, okay, she's a coffee lover or whatever, or like whoever the character is, just don't run it into the ground. Like, that's the thing I will say. Like, don't overuse it. And this, like, it was so rinsed in this book, and I'm just like, ugh. I actually agree with this review. So I'm actually agreeing with some of them, I will say. This one just simply says, "I'm uncomfortable." I don't actually remember anything being uncomfortable in this book. I will say I don't remember a lot of things from the books that I've read before. I tend to forget a lot, and even from like books I've read last week, there's some things I just don't remember. So I don't know, like what was in the book that was very uncomfortable? I actually don't remember. This one says, "Felt like a bad Wattpad book, DNF." I didn't, like, listen, being a fangirl, I've read Wattpad stories when I was like in middle school, high school, something like that. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that terrible. Come on. This one says, "This rarely happens, but I had to stop reading this book. The offensive language turned me off completely." I don't remember a lot of offensive language. What am I forgetting? I don't remember there being a time where I was reading this book and I was like ugh, like, you know, like, ugh. I don't remember. I genuinely don't. This one actually made me laugh. This was, "Things I'll Never Get Over. Wasting my time with this book." Jeez, that's how you really feel, Emma. This one says, "I miss who I was before I read it." I miss who I was before I read it. Damn. I have that feeling about some books I've read. Like, some books I wish I just never read. This one says, "Cannot believe I wasted my honeymoon reading this piece of trash book." On your honeymoon? It's not... What am I forgetting? Like, I really don't think this book is like enough to it wasn't that bad, like to ruin someone's honeymoon. Okay, so that was Things We Never Got Over. The next book I'll be reading about is Twisted Lies. I really wanted to see what people will say about this one because I think this one's gonna be like interesting, and I feel like a lot of people have different opinions about Christian Harper, so we're gonna see what happens. So this one says, so she just chose one stalker over the other. Actually, yeah, like honestly, like this is true. This is very valid. I honestly agree with this one. Like, stalker number one was helping her get rid of stalker number two. He was stalking her. Like, no one tried to convince me otherwise. He was stalking her. He was obsessed with her. This one said, no way, this was my first book of 2023. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad when someone doesn't like their first book they read in the year, because I feel like that just like ruins, that's just like shapes your experience for the rest of it. And I don't know if that's gonna like put you off for the rest of the year, like puts you in a slump. I hate that. That's such a horrible feeling. I'm so sorry, Abby. The next book I'll be seeing the reviews for is Wildfire. This one says, this was worse than Icebreaker. How are people liking this? Are y'all high on cheap drugs? Hello? There was literally no plot and too many daddy issues that it was the both main characters' entire personality. Curious how this was approved to be released. It needs a major rework. From what I remember from this book is that yes, they both had family issues. I will say that was a bit more emphasized than anything else. And with their relationship, it was I'm just talking from memory here. Like I said, I don't remember a lot. But from there, like the aspect of their relationship was more just about like them sneaking around the camp because like they weren't allowed to, because they're both camp counselors and they weren't allowed to like be involved. I did really enjoy reading this book. I don't know, I was really happy when I was reading it. Probably because I was like really excited for it, but I actually enjoyed this one. Okay, so this one, she's a diehard Icebreaker lover. So let's see what she has to say. As a diehard Icebreaker lover, I was so disappointed in this. There was little to no spice, which is the only way a book can make up for having absolutely no plot. I found Aurora so annoying. There was barely any character development, so I didn't even care about their relationship. The writing was very inconsistent. What 20-year-old American man says, I've only just arrived? Overall, I'm bummed I barely made it to the end. A lot of people have been talking about Aurora being like really annoying. I don't really remember her being that annoying, and I'm usually very easily annoyed with characters. Like I can name 3 or 4 characters off the top of my head that I found so annoying, but Rory wasn't one of them. So I'm a little interested to see why. So if anyone else feels that way, please let me know. So the next book is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This one says, read the sentence, I'm not like other girls, and deleted it from Kindle. Bye. Okay, I will say, yes, I agree. I don't like when the character, I usually don't really appreciate or prefer, I guess you can say, when the girl character is more like the I'm not like other girls thing. But I will say, Indy was one of the ones that I've read based on my experience. She was the least irritating out of all of them. Like I've read a couple of books where the girl was that type of girl, like the quirky, I'm not like other girls girl, but like Indy was the least irritating out of all of them, I will say. Some of them I found so irritating, like I almost didn't finish the book because of them. But no, Indy, honestly, I found her to be the least irritating one out of all of them. This one actually I found so funny, and I don't remember this in the book, and I can't believe this mistake was in the book. Okay, alright, anyone who gave this at least 3 stars does not watch basketball. As a basketball wag, this book made me cringe so much. Come on, drafted in the 4th round? There are two rounds in the NBA. That was the first thing that annoyed me. I found Indy very annoying and Ryan's life to be incredibly unrealistic. It's my first DNF of the year after getting through the first 240 pages. As someone who loves sports, I'm done with sports romances. This ruined the whole genre for me. I genuinely don't remember that being in the book, where they were talking about him, like what round he was drafted. That mistake should have been like something they should research a little bit more. I don't know, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know like what type of research goes into the sport or any profession that they want the character to have. I don't know the extent of research that they go into, but if you're going to be talking about the draft, then you need to understand how the draft works. And I genuinely do not remember. I don't think I even noticed it the one time. I think I've read this book maybe once. I've only read this book once, actually. I didn't go back to it. I rarely reread books because I'm always trying to see what new books are out there. So I don't usually go back to books that I haven't read before. It's like to books I've read before. So I don't remember this being in the book. I don't remember reading it the first time that he was drafted in the first round, the fourth round, sorry. I remember that he was the captain of the team, and that's it. And like he's not very like he wasn't close with the guys on the team, something like that. But I don't remember this like being him drafted in the fourth round. That's a very clumsy mistake to make. Like if you're gonna be talking about the draft, you have to know how the draft works for any sport, whether it's NBA, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, whatever it is. Like you need to know how this works. And I'm very surprised. I genuinely don't remember this being in the book. And I've never heard anyone point this out. This is the first time I've ever seen this pointed out. So this is very interesting to me. The next book is a book I've read recently and I've talked about on this channel that I love this book, and it's The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This one says, "I'm sorry, this was a DNF for me. The only interesting character is the aunt, and spoiler alert, she's dead the entire time." No, this isn't a spoiler. It's for anyone who's worried, this isn't really a spoiler. It's a part of the plot. It's in the synopsis of the book. But I will say I wish we had more of the aunt. She is such an interesting character to read about, and I really wish we had more of her in the book. Because like I remember like in the beginning of the book when Clementine was talking about her, and like I was like quoting her or like just like talking about the advice she used to give, I was like highlighting all of them. I love the parts where it was the aunt's like advice or tips or anything. I really enjoyed that part. So I do wish we had more of the aunt. This one just says DNF angrily. So the next book is another one of my recent reads and another one of my favorites, and it's just for the summer. This one says, everybody needed therapy, and I agree. Like everybody in this book needs therapy. The amount of trauma in this book, like everyone in this book is traumatized. Every single character needs to have a sit down with a therapist and just like cry their eyes out for a couple of years. It's so bad, I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible. So I give you a 1. DNF at 39%. I normally don't rate books I don't finish, but this one pissed me off that much. The female main character is a martyred Buddha who has so severely graduated from her trauma that she preaches toxic positivity for a living. I've genuinely never hated a character until this book. Yes, I do agree with like how what was her name? Emma? Was that her name? Oh my god. I love how I'm saying these are my favorite books and I don't even remember the names of the characters sometimes. But like there's a lot, I mixed them up. I think her name was Emma. But yeah, like how she was talking about how she was dealing with her trauma was like not the healthiest way of dealing with things, I will say. But like that's just like showing that she wasn't okay. Like she's just showing that the character thinks she's handling it right or handling it the right way when she's actually not. So I kind of see the reader's opinion, and I also see how the author was trying to write it. She was trying to show that Emma's not dealing with this properly, and it wasn't until she had her breakdown that she noticed and like she had her moment of clarity and she understood why what she was doing was wrong, and she had to like stand up to her mother and tell her that she's not going to deal with it anymore. Okay, so the next book is Caught Up. This one says, I've been told I'm a hater, and guess what? I'm gonna hate. This book had me rolling my eyes and rooting for their downfall. Never once did I ever read a book that I hated so much that I was rooting for the couple's downfall. Never once in my life. I don't think I've ever hated the book that much. Guys, they really weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. Okay, disappointments are not meant to destroy you. They're meant to strengthen you. That's why I have the strength to throw this book far, far away. Okay, then these are just like a couple of the, like some other books that I've read. So this one's about wild love. This one just says, in my hater era. This one says, this may be the worst book I've ever read. No joke. It's so bad, I'm not even keeping it for my book collection. Returning it ASAP. It's gross and the story moves along so weirdly. You're returning the book, you're not even keeping it. Never once have I ever hated a book so much I actually wanted to return it. All of my books are digital and I don't think I've even deleted the books that I've hated. My god, it wasn't horrible, you people. That is all for today's video. Those were some 1-star reviews of my favorite books. Again, don't let these reviews discourage you from reading the books. Everyone has a different experience with a book, everyone has different opinions of the book, so like I said, most popular books will have 1-star reviews. Some people won't even finish them. So don't ever let 1-star reviews discourage you from reading books. You should always try it out and give your own opinion. So that is all for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!